How many of you guys have been through something, a recent challenge, where you found it was easier to run from reality, run from the truth, run from what's happening? It's a lot easier than facing the truth. Well, look, I ran and I ran and I ran for 7 years, and it was suffocating. It was exhausting. I was living this life. I was living a shell of myself. On the outside, I was this big, bubbly personality, first person on the dance floor. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But guess what? Inside, I was hurting. Inside, I was struggling. I was in pain. I was the person that was literally feeding the toll booth counterfeit money. On the outside, I had the nice, pretty car and the shiny wheels, but on the inside was a whole lot different. And I had inherited that shame from my parents. I was afraid that when I entered into my sports career, that people would ask me about my family life, perhaps do a Google search and find out that both of my parents died from prescription drug overdoses. Well, maybe, prescription drug overdoses, well, maybe she could go down that same path. Maybe she's not qualified because her parents are drug addicts. Maybe, maybe she'll fall into those same addictive behaviors, and maybe that will be an issue for us if we employ her. I was afraid that I wouldn't get selected for awards. I was afraid that I wouldn't get a job because of the shame that I felt because of how my parents died. But as I started to tear those walls down and realize that I'm not going to allow that pain and that shame to define me, I now have a mission. I now have a mission to move forward and pass the torch that my parents have now passed on to me, and that I hope to pass on to my children one day, Lord willing, and that I want to pass on to each and every one of you. Because we're all going through something, y'all. We're all facing something. We're all facing challenges. Life never goes as scripted. Bottom line is, we all want to be better. We all maybe want to be taller, you want to be skinnier, you want to be prettier, you want to be more beautiful. You want to be better at whatever it is. But here's the deal. You are perfectly imperfect just the way you are. Nobody is exempt from life's difficult circumstances. Nobody is exempt from life's difficult circumstances. It does not matter the car you drive, the job you hold, where you grew up. None of that stuff matters. Nobody is exempt from life's difficult circumstances, but you have the freedom of choice. You have the freedom to choose how you're going to respond to adversity. So how are you going to respond to adversity? How are you going to stand up and allow your resilience to shine through despite all the challenges that are woven into the fabric of your lives? You have a choice. You have a choice today. You have a choice tomorrow. You have a choice from this point forward. So how are you going to choose to respond? I encourage each and every one of you, as you walk out of here tonight, to remember you all are amazing people. You guys are awesome. You guys have a story, an incredible story to tell, and I want to encourage each and every one of you to be bold, to be courageous, to move forward and know that your story matters. And through it all, until I was courageous enough to share my story, I was afraid. But then as I opened up and had the courage to share my story, I ultimately fell in love with my story. And I encourage each and every one of you to do the same. Fall in love with your story. Fall in love with your story and approach life and each chapter of your life with great joy and with great gratitude. And please, please, please do me a favor. Please get rid of all the filters.